time has come. I cannot put it off any further. It's time to fix my golf swing. Over the course of the last 12 years of doing Breaking 80, as the business has grown, my golf game has regressed, and I just basically started compensating for all my bad habits. But now I've got to the point where I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna be playing golf for the rest of my life, I need to fix these things that are inherently wrong so that I can just enjoy the game more. So how are we going to do that? Well, fortunately, I've got a couple friends that know a thing or two about helping other people get better at golf. I flew down here to San Diego. I'm at the Grand Golf Club, which is home to Piers and Andy of Me and My Golf. And let's just say they know a thing or two about helping golfers with some pretty common problems, like a giant slice and a weak grip and lost distance and all the things that I have issues with currently. So in just a minute, they're going to go give me a lesson, but more importantly than this initial lesson is we're gonna be checking in every couple weeks. They're gonna be helping me make sure that I'm practicing the right things, giving me the right drills in order to continue to see improvement in my game. If you followed this channel for a while, you know what a huge fan of Arccos I am. So I've tracked over 350 rounds with Arccos, and it has all sorts of information about my game that I honestly haven't done a whole lot with. So they've gone through, they've reviewed my Arccos data, and they're tailoring this lesson to all of my deficiencies on the golf course. So not only are we going to fix some of the inherent flaws, we're gonna address some of the very specific things that I know are an issue because I've got all of that Arccos data to work with. And I'm gonna be totally honest, I've been putting this off for years. Making these major swing changes is scary because I know I'm gonna have to go backwards in order to go forwards. But if I plan on playing golf for the rest of my life and I plan on continuing to, show you my golf swing on the internet, we should probably fix a few things. And so that's what we're gonna do. So right now we're gonna go do the lesson. I'm gonna let you check in on that. You're gonna be able to see that. You're gonna be able to see how bad my swing really is. And then I'll come back afterwards. I'll check in with you. I'll let you know my thoughts on it, how it went. And then you can expect a monthly video here at Breaking 80 that is just all about me trying to fix my golf swing, me working with Piers and Andy, me going through their course, them analyzing my Arccos data, and taking all of that, using all of that information to try and actually lower my scores and make me a better golfer. So I'm kind of scared, but very excited about this. So let's go meet him. Let's get going.
Okay, let's swap places then actually, Sean. Let's get straight into it. If you jump over here for us. So let's take a look at the down the line. So as we know, you're missing 36% to the right. Let's figure out what's happening. So from down the line, we're gonna have a swing plane line in. What we're gonna look at, the first thing that we notice on the way back with you is that the club face gets quite open. So when the club is parallel to the ground here, this face has turned a lot. We'd love to see it more close to the spine angle. As we go to the top of the swing, the club face is still open. And from here, it's like, okay, how do we square this up?
Yeah.
Now for you, you'll start to move it over the top. You'll hang back and you'll have this early release. And when you time it and when you compensate well enough, it goes pretty good like that last one. But the first one, if you don't quite do it, it's out to the right, missed fairway, maybe out of bounds. And you lose a lot of distance as well.
Yeah.
But the most important thing today is if we need to get your club face squarer in the swing.
Yeah.
If we do that, the whole body's going to move. The club's going to want to swing more on plane. So let's jump in. Let's get straight into the grip. So if you just take your usual for me, and we'll sort of see what that right arm would normally do. It would sort of go straight over, and this right hand would be a little bit more on this side. Mm-hmm. So the right arm is over here. And as we said, it encourages this face now to want to open like this. So this is really where you are in the swing. This is a weaker face. So when we now swing down to the golf ball, there's a lot of loft on the face. And this is why we call it weak, really. So left hand, we know we've done some work on that. We've still got to make sure we see the back of these knuckles on the hand. Right hand now, I want to get the elbow a little bit more facing this way.
Okay.
And from here now, we're just going to turn the hand. Good. And now we're going to go on the side. There we go. Feel how different that is. So this now is in a neutral place where this V is not more up to here, and this elbow is a little bit more turned in.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that was the best one of the day. Oh, even better. That's the one right there. And that one felt effortless.
Let's show you the difference then here then. Okay, sure. So look, this is you at the start of the session. Mm-hmm. If we look at the shoulders, they're quite level.
Yeah.
The spine's very level here. And if we just look at that right hand and right arm, you can see that right hand and arm is sort of on top, and that V is pointing over towards your left shoulder. So this is you feeling that the club now is a little bit more closed on the way back.
Yep.
Now it's closer. You can see it's probably almost 90 degrees when the club's parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
Which is squarer on the way back. but that just shows now the work that you've got to do on the way
Yeah.
within the golf swing now. So
Cool.
grip, little bit of setup, making sure you tilt it away as we can see the yardage and take out the right side completely.
So Sean was really struggling with his irons. He wasn't getting any compression, high weak trajectories, and he was leaving it short 44% of the time. So we worked at 3 steps, real simple steps, which allowed him to get more compression, hit the golf ball 10 yards further. You're definitely going to want to watch this. Okay. Okay, great grip. That has to happen.
Yeah.
Nailed it, love it. Good stance width, I like it. Now give me a good hip turn, but then make sure you move to the target. That was so good.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, jeez. It's gone a little left.
A little left,
But
it was the first one that felt pure
that
and
was
it felt
money.
far.
Look at the number,
Yeah.
146. Whenever we're doing a grip change, and this is great for anyone watching this, yes, of course, we're going to show you how to build the correct grip for you, but we also need to make sure that this leading edge is matching up to that grip as well. So that's why we've got this alignment stick on the ground.
Okay.
So all we're literally going to do is, so imagine there's a ball here.
Yep.
So we've got the leading edge now coming out here at 90 degrees, and we're just going to see what it would look like, me just rotating the hand like that, for you to see that blue patch there.
Okay.
So put your right hand on, and we can build the grip differently, but I just want you to understand what this actually looks like. So does that feel?
Feels weird.
Feels weird.
Yep.
Like really weird or just a little bit weird?
Pretty weird.
Pretty weird, that's fine. And the grip change is probably one of the hardest things to do, but the good news is going from a slicing grip to a more neutral grip, or even what feels like a hooking grip, it's actually the easier way to go.
Great.
If you have to go the other way, it can become really hard. That was nice. First shot with a new grip, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
Just do me a favour. This is sometimes why this can be a problem as well. Actually, Ali, if you come in here, so just do that again. Keep your right hand on. So oftentimes, when people move this hand over, they get, just take his hand off for me. The right thumb goes with it and pushes it over there. So then when you put your the left thumb goes over there, sorry. So when you then put your right hand on, that thumb feels in a weird place. So what your right hand does is it pushes the left thumb back over, but then the grip goes weak again.
Okay.
So the key with this is let's make sure that goes over there, but then make sure that, if we think about a straight line here, you're not as straight, you're slightly to the right of it.
Okay.
That's telling us where we need to be.
Got it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good. So
That was
good.
the best shot all day.
Best shot all day. I mean, I think I would agree with you.
May not be as far, but it felt the best.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's 141, so look, we know the numbers have jumped up massively. And the big difference is here, it is the grip. Look at the difference in the grip, the before and the after. Obviously, the grip now is a lot more neutral, a lot more around. That's allowing you to square the club face up. By the time we put a little bit more hip turn into it as well, you're now primed, ready to shift in your downswing toward that impact line. And when you do that, it's going to be money.
Love it. All right, you guys have seen my swing now. What do you think the odds of this actually working are?
Have you played pickleball before? We did say that at the start, didn't we? Have you tried that?
I have. Is that what I should stick with from now on?
Pickleball is a good shout, I think.
Okay.
In all seriousness, I think what we've found out today is that it's going to take some time to do it, but it should do. If it's a change worth doing, it probably will take a little bit of time. And I know that you're leaving here with the right information, and you know now how to work at it, which is the most important thing. So I would say you're probably going to give yourself about a month or a 6-week window where you can just get into the depths of that grip and that right arm position, and everything else will flow nicely from there.
I think tomorrow's going to be like a Matrix moment where you just wake up and you go, I know Kung Fu. It's like it's downloaded into your system. You go to the range and you go, yeah, I've got it. Like, it feels so much better. It won't take you long.
All right, well, you guys heard it here first. I'm going to go to the range tomorrow, and if I don't have that Matrix moment, I'm going to call them and complain and be like, it's definitely your fault because it's obviously not me.
We'll take the blame. We'll take the blame, and then we'll take the credit when it goes well as well.
As long as I have someone to blame when it all goes wrong.
The most important part.
All right, we finished our lessons, and I got a lot to work on. I'm a little nervous about committing to this whole thing because we're going to have to go backwards before we go forwards. One of the biggest things we worked on with both my iron and my driver is just fixing my grip. And I didn't realize just how wrong my grip was, but more importantly, I didn't realize just how weird it was going to feel to get my grip in the right place. So if this is something that any of you have ever gone through, swing change, grip change, like I feel you. And if you are thinking about doing this, then prepare yourself, because it definitely is a weird feeling. But despite how weird it felt when I finally got to the point where I did what they were trying to get me to do and I felt those clean shots and not those massive slices, not only was I getting distance, not only did it feel better, but it started to feel less weird, and even just like one day of practice in one lesson. Oh, that was the best one of the day. And that one felt effortless. So I hope when I go back and I start working on this, when I get home in the coming days, it's gonna start to feel more natural. I'm gonna start to see more success. I'm gonna have fewer mishits and fewer frustrations, because there was definitely some frustrating moments during this lesson. Because let's face it, it's tens of thousands of hours of doing the wrong thing and trying to change it. And that's a lot of muscle memory that we're gonna have to change. So that feels kind of weird, feels scary. I'm hoping that I can stick with it so that I can see the benefits of it for a long time to come. So there's just a little bit of a sneak peek of the lesson I had and some of the things we were working on. If you want to see the entire lesson, you can go over to Me and My Golf right now. I will link to that below. You can check out all of the things that I worked on and the deficiencies, and you can laugh at my swing. But in a few months, you're not gonna be laughing anymore. We're gonna get this thing dialed. We're gonna lower our scores. We're gonna start breaking 80 more consistently. So I'm very excited about this. I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you, doing this in real time in front of you, and we're just gonna be raw about it. So it's been about a month since I went to San Diego and met with Piers and Andy. Well, where is my golf game now? Let's talk about it. So while we were there, it was like a whirlwind 6 hours of lessons. They gave me a dedicated irons lesson. They gave me a dedicated driver lesson. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, there's gonna be some minor adjustments here. Well, even the minor adjustments felt like major adjustments. For instance, I've always had a pretty weak grip. Switching from even a weak grip to more of a neutral grip felt like the most awkward, terrible, horrendous thing. Like, this doesn't feel right. And so making those changes, as you'll see if you go watch my lesson with them, which I will link to below, it's been challenging. Making those changes while also taking golf trips and playing golf and reviewing products and making time to go practice, well, that's even more challenging. And so that's what I've been working with for the past month. So during my time with them, they kind of ran me through, well, here's what everything should look like when you're doing it perfect. You're gonna adjust this, you're gonna adjust this, you're gonna do this. And putting all that together at once never completely clicked for me during the lesson. And so now that I'm a few weeks removed and I've been practicing, I've been trying to focus on just a couple key things. The first is making my grip just slightly less weak, bringing it back to neutral just a little bit. And as I get more comfortable with that, continuing to make that change. So if I hold it kind of the way I should be holding it, it just feels like hitting the ball. It feels like I'm going to completely slice and completely miss the ball. And that's not usually the case. Usually when I do that and I do it well, it's like, oh, that feels really good. This is how it's supposed to feel. But it doesn't feel natural. And so I've been slowly easing my way into a more neutral grip that's hopefully gonna help get rid of that big slice, eventually allow me to hit a little bit more of a draw and add distance that I have lost over the last few years. The other major thing that I'm thinking about is just squaring up my club face at impact. So my natural swing, basically what I'm doing is I'm constantly aiming a little bit left and trying to compensate for my slice. And so one thing they said during my lessons was making sure that my club face wasn't open in my backswing. And the thing that stuck with me from that lesson is taking my watch and essentially making sure that's pointed down. So that's helping to keep my club face closed as I'm bringing it back and as I'm following through the ball. And doing that has allowed me to square up my club face better, which has resulted in more fairways hit and a lot less lost balls. So on top of some practice sessions, I've played 5 rounds since that time. So if you look at my most recent round, I have not added any distance. That is something that I'm hoping is going to come in the future, but focusing on that grip and focusing on squaring up my club face led to, in my last round, me hitting 85% of fairways. What you can expect here is a new video every month or two. Some of those are going to show my actual practice sessions, so hopefully you find this journey interesting. You're gonna see just how ugly my golf game is. You're gonna see all the pros, the cons, the ups and the downs, and I'm going to continue to look at my Arccos data to see how that is translating to performance on the golf course. And gain that distance now so that as I get older, it sticks with me a little bit longer. Moving forward, I'm going to continue working through the Me and My Golf Pure Your Irons program, which is going to essentially help with all the deficiencies that I have. When I've spent that long, over hundreds of thousands of repetitions, compensating for something I was never able to do quite right because I've never taken a lesson in my life. The lessons I had with them were the first true golf lessons I have ever had. And so there's a lot to fix. But the way I look at it is I'm going to be 40 years old next year. I hope to play golf for another 40 or 50 years. And so I might as well go through the uncomfortable period of time now to get to the point where I can be happier with my golf game and hit better golf shots and hit it further. Some of those might feature Piers or Andy as they're continuing to help coach me as I'm making progress and as I'm trying to make this change that feels so hard and uncomfortable when I've been doing the same thing for 20 years. And so I'm starting to feel more confident in some of these changes. And honestly, I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about it. I'm a little self-conscious about putting it all out there, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are just like me. And so I figure if I can help document my journey, maybe it will help you as well. So if you want to follow along, make sure to hit subscribe. If you want to see the lessons that I had with Piers and Andy, I will link to those below. I will also link to their course and their community if that's something you want to get in on. And like I said, I'm using Arccos to track all of my on-the-course statistics. So you can use the code BE15 if you want to save 15% on anything that Arccos sells, or I will link to my full review of the Arccos system below. I'm excited for this. Hopefully you're excited too, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.